Otto and Aurora, as well as the shopping mall, which is the new map that they kind of are leading, kind of represent this perfect intersection between politics and commerce. The decline of the American mall actually has some interesting parallels with the story that we're telling. Society as a whole is moving away from shopping malls. They're even moving away from big box stores and going online, which causes all these abandoned spaces. So you have these buildings that are getting repurposed or torn down, and it's kind of all of the kind of telling signs of late stage capitalism. But to see it through the Outlast lens, you're seeing that rot long before the rest of the world. It's 1960, but the halls are already littered with garbage. The mall is falling apart. There's bodies stuffed into corners. If that's not capitalism, well, that's Murkoff, baby.
So what we essentially had found out through a bit of research is that in the early 1960s, a lot of political rallying was actually done in shopping malls. Public speeches were done there. Politicians would go and campaign around there. So we just said, hey, yeah, you know what? This could work perfectly. So from a level design perspective, a shopping mall works also really well for us in the sense that you have a lot of confined spaces, you have a lot of open ones, and what's different this time around is traditionally a lot of our maps were more enclosed in the center. You had a lot of this sort of claustrophobic feeling in the middle. Then a lot of our exteriors were also very open to very big. In this case, we sort of take the level design format, we sort of flip it on its head and we say, hey, look, you know what would be cool? What if the middle of the map that's an interior is really big, and then all the small rooms and the medium rooms are sort of set around the perimeter? And so that's something we're trying new for the first time, and we're hoping it's going to achieve exactly what we want it to. In the shopping mall map, you are tasked with assassinating a political figure, but there's steps to get there. So what we make the player do is they have to essentially infiltrate the shopping mall, then they have to sabotage it. The steps include using a new fuse mechanic. So the fuse mechanic is essentially tied down to fuse boxes, which the player can remove or add a fuse to the fuse box, and this will basically allow a gate to either open or close. And this will be used throughout the trial through a navigational sense to open and close various doors. We're also including this idea of being a buyer and purchasing within the mall. So there's going to be a mechanic that's tied to a sort of weight to ratio type of gameplay. So that will then give you X, and you will use that to then go set up your final kill, which is going to be sabotaging a pipe system. So we've already kind of seen a gameplay that revolves around the mechanic of turning valves. So we're going to use this, but we've decided to pimp it up a bit and give it some new flavor, give it some new life. And for this one, as always, we'd like you to, use a little bit of your brains for this one. So it should be fun and challenging, and we look forward to seeing what the outcome on that one is. On top of that, it was actually in our team's wish list for a really long time to really want to do a shopping mall map. And then to add the cherry on top, the community kept asking for a shopping mall map. So we heard you, and this one's for you.